Allegra, it's so lovely to chat to you today for She Can. Tell us a little bit about yourself and what you do.
Well, thank you for having me here. I'm incredibly honored to be part of She Can. I actually didn't realize I could be part of She Can. When you asked, I was like, wow, does this apply to me? Which, well, tells how we work sometimes as women. So about myself. So I'm a psychotherapist. I work for the School of Life as psychotherapist, and I'm a lecturer at Regent University. I retrained. I had my background is a business, completely different, and I worked in that area. Stopped for 10 years to raise 3 children and a marriage, and retrained when I was about mid-30s, early 30s, so a good decade ago. And my training was a long journey. I mean, you can imagine. So started with a part-time foundation when my little one joined reception. And I signed in, I still remember that it was quite a, you were asking about pivotal moments. That might have been one of my pivotal moments. Sort of deciding in a week that I was going to join a foundation course in psychotherapy. I don't want to say out of the blue, but so almost, yes, not making that decision, sort of just going to register, and that was it. So after the foundation, became a postgraduate degree, diploma, then a master diploma, and dissertation and all of that, and then clinical placement. So took me where I am now.
It's amazing. Amazing, Allegra. Thank you for sharing that. I'd love to drill down a little bit into your journey. You know, when you obviously had your 3 children, what made you decide to get into that field?
So this is the thing, is that I don't remember. So I remember this, I want to call it sort of an undercurrent of wanting to do it. And my rational side going, you don't, all the way throughout the decades, all throughout saying, you don't have the time. This is not going to work with your other commitment. You are not qualified enough. You're probably not intelligent enough. You don't have the language skills, not being British. And my undercurrent wanting to do it and just thinking every single step, just thinking, I'll just do this other thing. I'll just register. I can always learn as I go and then eventually change if that doesn't work. Every job I've applied to, always thinking, well, do I really deserve it? And thinking, well, just apply and then we'll see what happens. And always being surprised of being chosen, of being accepted, of getting the grades, getting the degrees. And it wasn't always, sort of top of the class. It's in the bag. I had to work hard. Sometimes I had to 2 step forward, 1 step back, and then I had to rewrite a piece. I remember that was my lowest point in my sort of journey, was when I had to rewrite a piece of my dissertation. And some of it I had to write while I was taking my daughter to the dentist. I remember that was my favorite time to focus on my dissertation because I had the waiting time there. I would shift her off as early as possible, up to the dentist. I wait for you downstairs, get my computer out and start working on it. So really, those little moments of time, a lot of time after bedtime, is trying to rush them to bed so I could go back to that. And being really close to that moment where I could have gone out without the dissertation and sort of not getting the master and still practicing as a psychotherapist. And sort of again, like, okay, come on, let's get back into it. Let's do 1 chapter and then let's see what happens. And
yeah, I love the perseverance, Allegra. And I think it's very female that we always think, oh, I'm not going to be able to do this and so on and so on. So it's a great example of when you stick to it and where you can get to. Allegra, tell me what motivates you going forwards?
I love that it's when you have your career, it's I have my family is incredibly important to me, but I feel I need my role as a mother is, in order to be a good mother, I think I need to step back, learning how to step back. And it is quite daunting to think of being able to do that in a healthy way. And I love that any kind of job, any kind of interest or hobby, you can build it up. It can go, it sort of, it goes in that way. And so that motivates me to have something that can still grow, that I can tailor as I want. That can be my moment, sort of when, okay, I have some work to catch up. This is my time. I can sort of go in a quiet corner. It's respected by other people around me. I love to have that. It's my, I don't want to call it my baby because then it goes the other way, but you understand, it's my creature, and I can decide what to do with it.
Yeah, that's great. How would you describe your relationship with your patients?
So I learn from them. I have most of my clients are so interesting, coming from different places, and we have that again, it's a bubble in time where I am there for them and honored that they chose me to support them in their journey of growth. And a lot of people are with me for that, for exploring, for reflecting, for growing.
Amazing. Allegra, what lessons can you pass on to other women? What would your top tips be for other women?
So my top tips would be listen to that undercurrent. Don't worry too much about your rational side. Are you qualified enough? Is this will they take you? Do I have to invest too much time? In a way, follow that instinctive drive to go for something. Is you know how they keep on saying that women don't apply to jobs because they're not they feel they're not qualified enough. And then I had this actually with a good friend I trained with, and her dream job, I came up in the sort of, you get those emails with the listing of jobs coming up, and I called her and I said, did you see? I mean, this is exactly what you have been wanting to do since we trained ages and ages ago. And she said, oh, yes, I've seen that. But you know what is, I'm sure they want so much experience and I'm not there yet. And I'm saying, what are you talking about? You have that experience. I mean, lo and behold, she got the job and she's there and she's incredibly happy and also incredibly grateful that I pushed her, encouraged her. And that's the other thing, maybe build your support network. I mean, if you're here and if you're listening to this on She Can, it means you understand the importance, but your support network of other women is invaluable. And I think for women like us who might have moved away from their family, so their automatic support network is something that, would be irreplaceable and invaluable. And I have that from the mothers at the school who I can call them and I can pick up my son and hold him if I'm late, to colleagues at work who I can ring them and I can say, I'm lost at this, just apply to this. I just got this new job and I don't really understand how is the IT working, and we can text back and forth without having to go through the formal email to your line manager. And so be brave, but also be open and connect with people and help people, because then you will need that help eventually. And I think women understand that. We can't waste the time, and yes, we will support each other.
I think
reach out.
That's very wise and spot on. Allegra, thank you so much. It's been wonderful talking to you. Thank you so much for telling me.
Thank you. It's an honor.